guys, it's Jessica here. Just going to have like maybe this is like a little wine and dollies type of chat while I craft and work on projects. I took apart my new tan Blythe girl. Working name is Violet. Maybe maybe lavender. She's got the purple hair, but she's tanned. So I've been carving on her today, took her all apart as you can see. Her parts are over there, but I took her eye mech all apart. I'm going to paint her eyelids, and I'm going to give her sleeping eyes. But working on the carving, and I'm liking how it's starting to look. One of the things I don't know, and this was kind of like happened on my last girl that I did too when I did Heather, is can you see like that lighter color of, I almost said resin, I guess this is ABS plastic, but it was like that on Heather too, who was like a white skin faceplate, but I can see it. I don't think it's any worse. It's just more noticeable because of the darker plastic. So like, is that you just cover that up with a face set basically, or because you can't really, when I painted Heather, you can't really see it. So I mean I've done some sanding. I'm still going to work on this, but I wonder, you know, if there's a way to get rid of that, or if you need to get rid of that. So I don't know. This is only my second faceplate that I've customized. But I do like how the lip shape is starting to turn out. So I'm excited for her. I did get some things in today from Cool Cat. So some eye chips, and I do want to replace some eye chips on my dolls. But just got some various pretty ones. Like, gosh, this box is. Let's see. Really like these pair. I think like I have all these purple and magenta chips that. Let's see, there's this one. But I think these are really pretty. So I'm going to replace some chips on all of my girls. I did realize though that I don't have the big glue sticks. I just have the small ones. Oh, here's another pair. These are kind of sparkly. So that'll look nice though. And I've got some string in that I ordered from an Etsy seller actually, for pull strings. And I can use that for some other projects too. Oh, those are pretty. I like those ones too. Those are another really pretty pair. I did buy several pair of these tights. And the Cool Cat website is very confusing. Like I looked at it and couldn't figure it out. It seemed to be saying that the way I interpreted it was that for medium and large A-zone bodies, that pull-up tights were what would fit. But I must have got that wrong. I'll show you. Lorna is wearing. So Lorna is actually wearing a pair of these tights, which is super cute. I'm not going to take off her boots to show you, but I had to cut off the tips. I had to cut off the tips of these shorts to fit on these A-zone bodies. So, so that I could, otherwise it was just sticking off of like the end of her foot like this. So they still cover her foot, and like maybe I can sew those. I was lazy. I was just like I've had it. Just cut them off and put her shoes back on. But that works, I guess. I can do some minor sewing, but I don't know. I guess I read that wrong. I didn't understand. I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't understand what the heck they were talking about. But so so I just cut them off. Got some more goodies. I just got like some leg warmers. I love leg warmers. I've made a lot of my own leg warmers for my dolls. But I got some more cute ones because they had a bunch, and I just freaking love leg warmers. Oh, and some really pretty pull strings. I really like the one tan pull string that that Violet came with. So she might get one of this purple one, and then maybe Lorna might get this other sparkly one. And oh, some more leg warmers. So fun things from Cool Cat. So these did work for these Sweet Tiger knockoff bodies, but not really. They have to be modified. The other thing that I've been working on is yesterday was sewing day, and I think when I made the video that I made yesterday, I had basically the pattern pieces cut out, but I was pretty relentless and I finished the dress last night. Well, this morning, because it was like 2 a.m. this morning. I was like, okay, I've got to go to bed. But so this fits Lorna, or not Lorna, it fits Violet. It fits them all. Actually, this pattern, I used the pattern in my hand and sewing book. And this is actually, it's meant to fit like a Blythe, I think. It's a little tight on these A-Zone Sweet Tiger knockoff bodies. So if I make some more dresses, which I will, I want to make some more dresses, I will have to make some adjustments to fit those bodies. The bodice needs to be a little bigger. And I don't really like the way this collar turned out. I did do some embroidery on it, which was kind of neat. It was like 2 a.m. and I was looking up how do you embroider a chain stitch? But the way they had you sew, I followed the instructions for the collar. I wanted to know, I kind of did my own thing with as far as like the pinstripes. I have my own method of doing pinstripes, so I just did my method because I couldn't understand what they were talking about. But and I have my own method of doing collars too, but I just kind of wanted to go through their method and see, you know, if it was good or worked better. And I don't like it. I like my method better because look at this. Like it's supposed to fold. These are supposed to fold down, but it doesn't work that way. The fabric is. This is not even very thick a fabric, and it's not going to do that. It pops up like that. Once it's on her, that's not so noticeable, but it bothers me. Like it's a very unfinished looking edge, and I have my own way of sewing collars. But good to experiment and learn new things. So there was a pattern in the Hannon book. It's called the Peter Pan dress. And I think it's because of the collar. I guess they call this a Peter Pan collar. I did my own thing with the skirt. I put a ruffle on it and a little band. It's like I'm trying to like practice different things and do things differently because I've literally, I have a handful of sewing projects that I've done as far as clothing goes. So I'm very much still learning, and I want to be trying and doing different things. Every project I do takes a long time because of that, but I'm really happy with this. Really, it looks really cute on Violet, who is in pieces here, but I really like it. So let's see, what else? I don't think I have anything else. So I've been working on this head. I've been carving on it, and it's very challenging. I have like an idea of what I want it to look like, but at the same time, I do kind of wish that I would have maybe ordered a dark tan faceplate to practice on, just so that I didn't take Violet apart. But I'm just like, I have my other Blythe dolls, and I have them, so I have them to take around with me and stuff. So even if this takes me like, a few days or a week or whatever to finish carving and doing a face up on this, I want to take my time, and I kind of really want to get it the way I want it to look. So I definitely I rushed a little bit on Heather's, and I think I could have done better. Um, but oh, I'm probably going to run out of time. I wonder how much more I can blab. um, One of the things that I've found that's kind of interesting is the what do they call it, like fake Blythe or factory Blythe, and so I come from the ball jointed doll world, and so it's a much different issue. So they're not completely equivalent. Um, Recast versus legit in the ball jointed doll world, it is a different thing. Uh, but in some ways, there's people, this factory Blythe thing, like when people like that doesn't sound. I don't know how you can be reasonable and think that that's like, if you look at the market at all, all these dolls that are on AliExpress and on eBay, and they're Blythe knockoff dolls. I mean, there's these factories in China and Asia that are making these dolls that are not Takara. I mean, these aren't like all pieces that are snuck out of a factory. I mean, maybe at some point that there was some sort of situation like that maybe lasted. Like, I could, maybe that's where that came from, that idea. But I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But it is interesting to me. It's just how people, there are very different markets. So there's the stock market, the stock market, the stock doll market, and the basically the fake market, and they are very different things. I'm sure it happens, I guess, where people might try to make a factory doll and try to sell it as a legit, or I don't know. But like people, the factory dolls. Boy, I am not very good sometimes at concentrating and talking at the same time. I'm just working on this mouth a little bit, trying to deepen the groove. But what I was saying was the factory dolls, or the fake dolls. I mean, come on, they're fake. They're knockoffs. They're fakes. They're used very differently. They're used a lot for customs. People change them around quite a lot. Whereas it seems to me, this is my own. I mean, I'm very new. I mean, I've been kind of looking at things in the Blythe world for 6 months or so, but and maybe had a Blythe doll for a few weeks. But it seems to me that it's very different. The people who have stock dolls, you have your stock doll and you keep it stock. I mean, you don't modify it. You don't like maybe people mat the face or something, I guess. And that's a question too, is like, where's the line? I guess it's your doll, you can do whatever you want. But the idea behind it is that you can sell it for the same or more value, years later, versus a factory doll. You're probably not going to be able to do that. Maybe if it's a custom made by an artist with a certain reputation, or that there's this want for this doll, and but it's not as stable as an investment. So but the people who get factory dolls, a lot of them are wanting to customize or into customizing, and that's a whole nother thing. And the thing that I hear people say things a lot like, Well, I'm going to practice on factory dolls before I ever did anything to my stock doll. And people kind of say that thing with recast versus legit in the BJD world, but it's different. It is different because a lot of BJD like artists and people who make those dolls, they are legitimately harmed. I think they're really, really harmed by the recast market, especially these little individuals that are, they're one person, maybe two people helping them. It's just they're very small. So, not that I think recast of bigger companies is okay because they're a company and they can absorb it. Like it's a whole issue though. It's a whole issue, and I didn't want to like get a whole big issue going, but it's just interesting to me the difference in attitudes about a subject that seems very, very similar to me on the surface, but there's some differences. I'm probably going to run out here, but anyways, be working on this gal. I'm going to be taking my time and trying to get her. I want her to have like really big full lips and customize her and get and I'm missing some things, so, and I don't want to rush. Well, I hope you guys are having a great Tuesday, and I hope your week goes great, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.